So even if you are a diehard fan of Lucille Ball, this film may still deliver some things about her life and career that you've never heard or seen before. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my movie review for Being the Ricardos. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like the video, please give me that thumbs up and consider subscribing. Now, I remember when the trailer first dropped for this film, I actually didn't check it out. I had planned to, but honestly, I just never got around to it. I was going to do a trailer reaction. But watching other critics and creators online, I do remember hearing them rave about how great the trailer looked and how promising the film seemed like it would be, especially with the cast with Javier Bardem, Nicole Kidman, and J.K. Simmons. However, my expectations were still mediocre. I mean, I liked the writer and the director of this film by the name of Aaron Sorkin. And if you check out his filmography, I mean, this is only the third film that he directed. He did Molly's Game in 2017 and The Trial of Chicago 7, which debuted on Netflix in 2020. And I have to say, I loved absolutely both of those films. I thought they were fantastic. And now he's doing Being the Ricardos. And if you scroll up more, he's known for his writing. I mean, he did win the Academy Award for The Social Network in 2010. He also did Moneyball. I didn't see Steve Jobs, so I can't really speak on that, but he does have a nice filmography under his belt. But like I said in my intro, if you're a diehard fan of Lucille Ball, I still think that this film can provide you with some information that you've never come across before. Whether I enjoyed it or not, I'll get into that in a second. But before I do, let me tell you exactly what it's all about. Follows Lucy and Desi as they face a crisis that could end their careers and another that could end their marriage. Now, if you didn't know, and most people know, Lucille Ball is one of the most famous actresses in Hollywood, and she will possibly hold that title for the rest of time. I mean, she has a very illustrious career, and it's lasted for decades and always will be remembered. But most people know her from the sitcom I Love Lucy that had about 6 seasons, and it was in black and white. Lucille Ball passed away in '89, so I was only 5 years old at the time. So, of course, I was late to the party, like most people, but I do remember the few episodes of I Love Lucy. They were fantastic. Now, I am not a diehard fan of Lucille Ball, have nothing against her at all, or the show. I mean, the few episodes I did see of I Love Lucy, I was entertained. I laughed my butt off. I mean, it was funny, but it just wasn't a show that I ran to every time I got an opportunity because I wanted some form of entertainment. But while Lucille does have such a long career, and especially with I Love Lucy, it doesn't focus on that. This film just focuses on 1 week, one daunting, hectic week in her career, like I said in the synopsis, that could have ended her marriage and her career. And it's very insightful, and I'm glad that we got the information that was presented to us. Now, one of the first things that I love about this film is the cast. You have Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball, Javier Bardem as Desi Arnaz, J.K. Simmons as William Frawley, and Nina Arianda as Vivian Vance. That last one I'm not familiar with, but I have to be honest with you, the parts that she was in this film, I will remember for the rest of time. It really stood out to me. And what's great about it is she was just as great as Nicole Kidman playing Lucille Ball, and I'll get to that in a second. But this film really did a great job of showing how much drama there was behind the scenes between those two and how they just did not get along but had to fake it on screen. Even though I did not watch that much I Love Lucy, that's nothing that I ever would have put together. And it's just quite scary of how certain people interact with each other behind scenes and really nobody knows. I mean, the lengths that they would go to sabotage somebody else or appear to be on top of that person in the limelight is very crazy. I mean, that's expected when you come from Hollywood, but just seeing it on screen just open your eyes wider to a point that they never were before. I mean, they all did a great job, especially Nicole Kidman. I mean, there was a number of times I was confused and I could not tell the difference between if this was actually Nicole Kidman doing a reenactment scene or if this was real old footage from the I Love Lucy show. Nicole Kidman did such a great job that it was just that indistinguishable to tell the difference. Now, I can't say the same for Javier Bardem. He still did a great job of getting the Cuban and Spanish culture down, and I'm believe that is actually where he's from. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. But he did still fulfill the role great of Ricky Ricardo or Desi Arnaz. I mean, this may be my only knock in the film. His accent is very thick, and there were a few lines of dialogue where I just could not make out what he was saying, and that was a bit frustrating. But other than that, he did bring a lot of life and energy to the film, to the character, and I did appreciate that. J.K. Simmons, I loved everything about his role. I mean, he was just a character just did not want to be there, did not want to deal with the BS. Like, please, can we finish this scene? I'm ready to go home. It was just so much dry humor to his character, and it was just really entertaining and a contrast from everything that was going on. Now, something else that I really did like about this is from the very beginning of this picture, as soon as it just starts rolling, as soon as it starts playing, there's just a different vibe from the I Love Lucy show. It just seems like it's upgraded, updated in every way, form possible. And of course, that's because it was shot in color. I mean, this film was shot in color. It's 2021, but I Love Lucy was in black and white. But what's great is, since this is shot in color, when they was doing those reenactment scenes that I spoke of earlier, it was in black and white. And with the editing, they would transition to a different shot and it would be in color. So it would enhance what you're already looking at and actually enjoy. I don't know. They kept doing it, and I found myself sitting up in my seat with a smile from ear to ear of excitement. And guys, this is not just some more backstage drama. This is a true behind the scenes epic adventure that really can have you at the edge of your seat sometimes of how things are going to play out. I felt sorry for the women in this field too. Vivian is just trying to get in where she fit in, but she's just being forced into all these stereotypes even though she doesn't fit. And Lucy is not getting the respect she deserves as well. I mean, her character, Lucy, is dumbed down a lot, and that is just something that I did not know. Lucille Ball in real life was very intelligent, very talented, very smart, very driven and obsessed. I mean, she was somewhat of a perfectionist and just wanted to rehearse over and over and over and over until she got it right, and had a great sense of comedic timing and physical comedy as well. And that just really wasn't appreciated. Now, she did have her flaws too. I mean, she wasn't perfect, but it was nice seeing all this play out on screen, something that I've never seen from her character or real life portrait before. I mean, the film did a great job of making you feel sorry for her and concerned with her marriage, because that was the most important thing. I mean, to her, it was just something that defined her. And seeing the primary reasons of why she wanted to continue the show in the first place just kind of makes you take a deep breath and sigh of sadness. Something else that I did appreciate with this film is it showing how ignorant we were as a people decades ago, too afraid to show how life comes to fruition on screen because we didn't want to offend anyone. What I mean is, they just didn't feel comfortable saying the word pregnant on screen or just talking about sex in general. I mean, that's known that will happen, but just seeing it again play out today just kind of makes you shake your head. Just like, my goodness gracious. But overall, guys, this is something that I really did enjoy, especially just for the performances. I mean, that alone is worth the ticket of admission. And like I said, this is my third time. Even if you are a diehard fan or are not, I mean, this film does have a lot to offer that I don't want to spoil here, that I think any moviegoer would appreciate it, whether you're a Lucille Ball fan or you're just a fan of Hollywood in general and what the mechanics were in its early years of development. But I will go ahead and give my rating for this film at the very end. If you did like this video, please go ahead and give me that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, helping me reach 35,000 subscribers. I really would appreciate it. Make sure you come back this Saturday on my channel at 6:30 p.m. CST for my movie news roundup show, where I compile all the movie news from the past week and have like a talk show with random guests, and we just have fun going over it, giving our opinions and such. But if I had to rate Being the Ricardos out of a 1 out of 10, I would give this film an 8 out of 10. Yes, an 8 out of 10. And if you are interested, it will be on Amazon Prime this Friday, December 10th, 2021. But guys, again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.